Hello, my dear friends. I'm back with a new video, and I hope all of you are really doing great. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic. So, in in all my previous videos, we have spoken about different technologies. We have spoken about uh, a little bit about the war. About the supply chain issues. We have spoken about the difficulties for the businesses and what needs to be done for the business leaders to mitigate some of those risks. So I have been getting a lot of requests to talk more about the uh, you know the connection between the uh, geopolitical uh, issues and the macroeconomic challenges that actually create a lot of difficulties for the businesses beyond just the logistical issues or broadly what we call as the supply chain issues. So uh, I have been getting some of those requests to talk more about those points and explain that what kind of supply chain challenges that we are seeing as a business leader, as well as what can be done. So obviously I may not be able to talk about everything in this video, but definitely I would try to provide some of the snippets in this video. I sincerely hope that you will like this video. So with that, let's get into the more details uh, about this topic. So we know that there have been several conflicts or wars that are going on in Middle East, also with Ukraine and Russia. So it has been going on for long time. So we definitely understand that this creates a lot of uh, supply chain difficulties, not just the logistical issues or the logistical problem which has come out very prominently in case of say Strait of Hormuz, because a lot of energy trade that happens through that particular strait. So that has been in the news for long. But apart from that, also there has been material issues beyond just the logistics, because your certain manufacturing got affected, and because of those manufacturing or the material mining that got affected. So because of that, the supply constraint in the market. Also, a good example is also the fuel. uh, a major part of you know the the fuel supply in the market were disrupted because a large portion was out of the market. And obviously, all the countries with more and more requirement, they were vying for the shrunk uh, pool of uh, available oil in the global market, and that was creating a lot of challenges in terms of the supply and demand, you know push and pull. And also the price was getting affected because of that. So we know about those kind of challenges, and we have talked about that uh, in previous videos a lot of time. So in today's videos, specifically, I would like to talk more about you know from a lens of uh, geopolitical macroeconomic challenges. So beyond just the war or uh, uh, you know uh, those kind of challenges which are maybe a lot of time not directly related to that country or not directly related to the businesses there. uh, so in case of geopolitical issues, so that's a completely different I would say scenario. uh, you have to understand that post World War II, the multilateral organizations were set up like UN and WTO, also the International Court of Arbitration and all that. Uh, so basically, that was created to kind of have a uh, uh, you can say it's a rule based world order or whatever, but most of this multilateral organizations were kind of more focused towards the uh, western hemisphere, and it's what we call today as global north. So that was suitable for them and for their business interest and their growth interest and all that. So obviously that we're working in a very different manner for maybe last 80 years or so. However, what we are seeing today as the other global powers are uh, increasingly becoming the major power, like China and also India has become major global power today in terms of their economy, in terms of their technological leapfrog that happened over past quite a few decades. So obviously that world order is definitely changing, and as this world order or the the multilateral world order which were in place post World War II. So we are seeing that more and more uh, challenges or difficulties uh, in that system. So like today, as we are seeing that you know different countries are weaponizing the trade, or the creating new trade barriers or creating new tariffs and all that, which were not supposed to be the case. So that's the reason why the WTO was in place. And now today we are seeing that increasingly that are being weaponized, right? So what happens post that? So you still have the WTO, you don't agree with that, you weaponize unilaterally, you weaponize the trade, and then the aggrieved party goes to the international court of arbitration, and then you uh, you know uh, argue there for many years, and then um, some orders are passed, but you don't have any means to really enforce that on the other party. So obviously there is a process, but that process really doesn't lead to anywhere, right? So now when I'm looking at this geopolitical scenarios and different cases and different uh, for the materials, for uh, logistics, for trade routes and all that stuff. So what uh, challenge that brings to the business is that you are increasingly working in a environment of uncertainty. You create the uh, you know your uh, your entire process, your supply chain, your supplier development, everything, and then tomorrow suddenly there is a change and you don't have really the clarity of what happens to your supplier, whether you would be able to operate in that market, or what next, right? So all the countries in I would say uh, are focused on capturing the market of, or at least part of uh, the market in the other country, even if they are in constant geopolitical tug of war. So nobody wants to lose out on a large consumer market, especially if that economy is growing, if that country is leapfrogging into a major power, then obviously the overall spending power of the people increases, and nobody wants to really uh, lose out in that market, because then if you do not want to operate in that market, then your uh, organizations lose out in the business, right? So you leave a lot of value on the table for somebody else to capture that. So all the countries wants to have the transactional relationship. They wants to kind of capture that market. But what happens is that they don't want to really give out the edge to the other country, thinking that that country might be uh, using those technologies, or being able to use some of those know-hows, maybe leapfrogging uh, from where they are today, and they might become uh, even a greater force tomorrow, right? So there are those constant tug of war that are going on, and that creates a lot of challenge for the businesses. Now I'm sure all the senior leaders and various organizations, or the board of directors, they understand this. It is nothing like I am inventing something new today. It's nothing like that. They all understand the scenarios. They all understand those challenges. Now what we need to really think of is about the solution, because this I would say the constant challenges and constant macroeconomic shift, and the anxious and brittle uh, uh, environment would continue or even increase over time. So what we need to really look at is obviously the solutions. So what could be the solutions? So there are definitely a lot of different solutions that we can talk about, which I may not be able to uh, talk enough in this video. But definitely one area which I would say that definitely the leaders need to think about on the supply chain side, is that how you uh, you know uh, uh, de-risk your suppliers. So basically what I am trying to say is that how you really look at uh, deeper in your supply chain, beyond just your tier 1 supplier, or maybe maximum tier 2, but get down and try to understand uh, your supplier or his supplier, so from where they are really uh, you know uh, sourcing their materials that you really need to have, or maybe it's critical for your business. And can we really support those tier 2, tier 3 suppliers to develop their uh, sourcing capability or develop their own supply chain, which can be de-risking of some of those challenges which we might be seeing today, or maybe we are seeing foreseeing that coming up tomorrow, right? So by doing this constant or consistent level of review over, you know uh, periodical review over time, so what we can really do is that we can create a much bigger and resilient supply base, which helps to, you know uh, mitigate some of those sudden challenges that comes up from those geopolitical risks. uh, Apart from that, I think another area is more and more the organizations, especially in India, I would say that what we need to really think of is not just a manufacturing hub where we just build to print, right? So somebody else own the IP, somebody else own the the material requirement, somebody else own the all the design and everything, and we just manufacture and deliver it based on that blueprint, right? So from that, definitely it was required to develop that uh, I would say that industrial capability. But now it is time that where we really look at developing more and more IPs. So more and more IPs, or intellectual property rights. So as we do more research, more capabilities development, so that will help us to indigenize uh, the material, the design, the manufacturing process, and uh, all the other related the engineering and the commercial processes. So that helps also in mitigating those dependencies and the risk, because more and more uh, dependent you are, more uh, challenges that you face uh, due to any of those uncertainties, right? So those are some of the areas which definitely I think the business leaders and the boards definitely need to think of. Uh, from my experience, that is what I wanted to share in this video. I can definitely discuss, a lot of various other avenues that we can think of, and we can definitely uh, support or help the organizations on that area. Uh, but this is more or less what I wanted to cover in this video, and I hope that all of you enjoyed this video. I know this was slightly longer video, and if you have really liked uh, this video or learned something new, please don't forget to like and share this video, and please subscribe our channel. With that, have a great day. Thank you.